I can't hear you.
Let's try that again. There you go. You there?
Yes, now I can hear you.
There you go. That's a great thing about technology.
I was scared there that I've lost you.
Don't worry, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. We'll make it work.
It better work for sure.
So let's do this again. How you doing?
I'm doing great. As you can see, I'm looking bright and lively today. So I'm doing my best as spring comes, eh?
There you go. I'm so happy that you can be here. All right, we
Yes,
got this working. We got it going. So tell everybody a little background about yourself. Born and raised, where are you from?
I'm from Zimbabwe. I was born in Zimbabwe in the capital city of Harare, and I came to Canada in 2006. But I've been living in Toronto. So I came in Canada in 2006 for different reasons. Among them, also to see my growth, but also to access treatment, HIV treatment. And at first I thought I was just going to see how the land is and how, before I knew how cold it is. It's only when I learned how cold it is, when I was just doubting and questioning myself, am I in the right place? But so far, so good. I'm doing well, but I'm Shona. So in Zimbabwe, there's Shona and Ndebele. So I'm from both tribes. My mom is Ndebele. My dad is Shona.
Okay, well, hopefully they're watching. So I'm going to say a big hi to them. How they doing?
Unfortunately, they are late, but they are watching from heaven.
There you go. There you go. They're always watching. And that's the thing. They're always watching you. They're always taking care of you. Right now, my grandmother, she's not here with me, but I know she's got me sometimes. You know, when you're talking to somebody, you're talking to yourself, and then you hear somebody talk back.
Yes.
You know, I know it's them always watching over us. That's the great thing about it.
Yes.
So here's a question then. Growing up, right? What were you doing? What would you want to, like, what did you see yourself doing growing up?
Growing up, I always wanted to be a lawyer.
Oh.
So actually, when I finished my A-levels, which are advanced level, I was supposed to go to university and do my law. But unfortunately, I didn't end up going because then my mom was diagnosed with mental health illness when I just finished school. So I had to take care of my mom. So I postponed going to university. And then I started doing accounting classes and secretarial classes part-time. And I just grow into liking figures, doing accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So that dream of becoming a lawyer was lost, but it was not lost at all, because I still advocate for people. I still fight people's causes. I
There you
used to like to be a lawyer because somehow I used to take people's battles, even from primary school.
I can see you with the young when you were younger, and the teacher would talk to one student. Okay, teacher, hold on. Let's look at this in a different direction. You always
Yes, exactly.
see. I can tell. I can tell. You're always helping your kids, always helping the students around you,
Mhm.
advocating for them. So that's why you have that passion with you now.
Yes. Yes, that's why. Because I think from the beginning, I was lucky enough that my parents brought me up as an independent girl. They've
Hmm.
always allowed me to question things, allowed me to try things and fail and do it again. So when I used to see injustice done, especially to a girl child, it really used to frustrate me because I wasn't coming from that environment. At first, I didn't understand what causes that, but as time went by, I realized the intersectionalities of oppression that women face. Besides just being born a woman, there's so many other expectations that are put on you. So from a young age, I knew I wanted to fight the oppression. I wanted to fight the injustices that women face.
So give us an example of growing up, what you saw that you said, something's got to change.
So when it comes to education, for example, let's say the family is poor or they didn't have the means. Even in some cases, the means. The girl's child was the last to be thought about in terms of where to achieving their goals in education. So I
Okay.
always that's one thing. So then you will find that in some cases, parents would go to an extent of selling their cows or doing things to make sure that the son goes to school. But also in terms of what you choose as a woman, as a profession. So remember, I said I wanted to be a lawyer. People used to ask me, "Why do you want to be a lawyer? You should be a nurse, or
Mm,
you should be a wife, not a working woman." So there are certain roles that women are seen as if these belong to women. These do not belong to men. Do
right.
not belong to women. And also when it comes to early marriages, that sometimes children at a tender age of 6, 7 already, they are married to someone off who's rich or someone off because of religious beliefs. So those were the oppression that really got me so mad from when I
Yeah.
was young.
No, I understand, because now you're saying, wait a minute. I said I don't, and you being the lawyer type, it's like, what do you mean I can't be a lawyer? What are you telling me I can't be a lawyer? I'm going to be a lawyer.
No, yeah, yeah. The more people told me you can't do this, up to now, the more people tell me you're not able to do this, the more I want to prove that I can do it. Even
Hmm.
if it means I failed, but at least I want to feel like I've tried.
Yeah, exactly. You tried, and that's the main thing. Putting your
Yes.
foot. Here's the thing I always tell everybody: if you don't put your foot in the water,
Uh-huh.
you can't tell if it's cold or hot.
No, you can't.
The only way you can do it is put that big toe in and
Mm-hmm.
see what happens. Okay, you might get
Yes.
a chill or it might be toasty and warm, but that's the only way you can get started is put that big toe in the water. So don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing. There you
No,
go.
and someone can tell you that the water is cold, but when you put your toe, it might be warm. So you never know.
Yes, exactly. Don't listen to them. Go after your dream. I love that. I do
Yes.
love that. So if you're watching, don't tell her she can't do anything.
No.
So then when did you decide that, hey, I need to start a company? I need to start something because things are not changing, and in your lifetime you want to see change.
So going back again to Zimbabwe, I was an accountant. I was the National Finance Secretary. So I was running programs for people living with HIV in all the 10 provinces of Zimbabwe. But then I realized most of my time were taken out to do social justice work. So I would go to different countries presenting at the European Social Forum, presenting on different platforms about the needs of women. And then when I come back to the office, I'm busy trying to catch up with my work. And I realized yes, I love figures. I love working, building the capacity of women to run projects, but that's not where my passion is. Mm-hmm. My passion is bringing change from the policy level, going downwards, trickling down. So then I realized, so when I came to Canada, I then decided I wanted to do a social work. So I went back to do social work, and I did my diploma, and then I went to do my bachelor's in social work, and I did my master's in global health. When I was progressing in my academia, I realized now the in-depth of understanding what were the issues, and also learning the language, how to use. I was busy backing on those platforms, showing my frustration, but sometimes it was not received well because I didn't have the language. I didn't know. So if I met when I say the language, I mean, if you're talking to public health people, you need to know the lingo of public health. If you're talking to social workers, you need to know the lingo of social workers.
Yeah.
So then I realized I needed to go. That's why I'm doing now my PhD. And I know even now when I'm working, my challenge has always been, I get called to come and do presentations. I got called. So I wanted to build my capacity, my own organization to run it on my own terms. Because as you know, when you're working within an environment, let's say a corporate, or you're working under an organization, there's certain rules that you have to follow. Mm-hmm. So there's some times where I realize if I want to address these issues, I can't really abide to the rules and regulations. For some who know me, they know me well that I don't know how to sift words. I say words as they are. And I go to the United Methodist Church, and they know me. If they invite me to talk about gender-based violence or something, I'm going to talk about sex. I'm going to talk about vagina. I'm going to talk about penis as they are. Because there's no way that you can have those conversations without naming the things.
You're right.
That's why I decided to do the consultancy.
Yeah, because they how am I saying this? They want you to come talk.
Yes.
But they want to put a cap on certain things you say.
Yes.
And that's not really talking. That's
not. So if you really want to meaningfully involve me and meaningfully get my feedback, so allow me to be my real me. Then if you allow me to be my real me, I'll tell you exactly where the problems are. But if you tell me the boundaries of where to say, how to say it, then it's a challenge. So when I have my own platform as a consultant, I'm able to have those conversations. I'm able to name it, because the only way that we can address issues is by naming them and finding ways of how to address them. So that's why I thought, and then also having a consultancy, I've got a broader platform of choosing what I want to do, whether it's sexual-based violence, whether it is reproductive health, whether it has to do with just pregnancy, whether it has to be naming about culture, how culture interferes with our life. So that's the reason why I chose that.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to dive more into your company, how you can help, what we need to do. Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break. And for my friend Carolyn Dickinson, she has a program that can help anybody get into business. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Charles. I'm Carolyn Dickinson, and I'm here to tell you that the Life Success Board systems are live. These success boards have massive impact. The system will allow you to be able to envision that anything is possible for every area of your life. It'll give you direction, it'll give you focus, and it'll keep you moving forward. There are 8 success board systems available to you, plus bonuses. So for more information on this amazing system, click the link below. You don't want to miss it. Back to you, Charles.
CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online, go to cmjent.com.
Immigrant Women in Business (IWB) is a non-profit organization bringing together women from over 50 different countries around the globe. These women have now made Canada their home and share a common goal of providing value to their new sisters. Our motto of "We are stronger together" resonates with all members, and with a diverse membership of business leaders, entrepreneurs and community builders, our goal is to make Canada better and provide guidance and leadership to those that follow.
Yes, we are back live. And how you everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining us. Before we went to break, we were just discussing on how you can help us, what is the passion, and how you can move forward. And we want to talk about your business. So talk about your company and tell us what it's more about.
So the word company, yes, I like the word company, but I don't think it's a company. I think it's a calling. For me, I take it as calling. It's not a company. It's a calling. The reason why I say calling, because one of my friends was asking me not long ago the other time and saying, "Marvelous, I don't know where you find time to do all these things. You're doing your PhD, you're working full time, and how do you do your business?" I said, "You know what? I just don't get tired, because every time a call comes and someone asks me to come and present on something, and if I see that there's a need and a gap that I can fill, for me, I know money is what we want when we do business, but for my calling, I do it because I want to give hope to the hopeless. I want to, I'm a woman living with HIV. I was diagnosed with HIV in 1995. And for all these years, I didn't think I would survive to do my PhD, to be able to be a leader at a global level. So that's what I want to bring, to show people that, you can do anything. Chronic disease doesn't stop you. It doesn't stop you from achieving your dreams. So my company is about just bringing that hope to the hopeless, but also looking at strategic leadership, especially for grassroots organizations, because I've worked with so many organizations. I've got more than 19 years of working with grassroots. So being able to help them to developing with their boards and understanding how to read financial statements and what else they can do as a board, but also talking about sex education, either in schools or in church or other environments, to the youth and also different age groups. I also talk about humanizing HIV and AIDS, and also talking about its effects, the stigma and discrimination, because I know, especially for our African, Caribbean, and Black population, there's also still stigma. There's still classifying who gets HIV, and whether it's for gay men. But I want to be that role model that I'm not a gay man. I'm a woman who was married, and I'm a woman who also came from a family that I was not living in poverty. Most people think it's only sex workers who get HIV. And so I want to deal with those stigmas. But also, I ran a workshop called Fearless Living Women's Empowerment Program. So it's just helping women to discover themselves, try and identify what is stopping them from achieving their dreams. Sometimes it's a hate from a relationship that didn't go well, or dreams that were not achieved. So trying to look together, what are the paths that you can follow, and linking them up with mentors if need be. But also stress, spirituality, and coping with living with HIV is a session that I've been doing within churches. Was also in churches, I find there's issues of homophobia that prevents people from talking about HIV. But we've got youth that are coming up that are also in our midst that need to know about HIV and health in general. So I'm seeing that you're scrolling a screen that says Ubuntu. Ubuntu is just a term that we use in Southern Africa, which means bringing the community together. So I'm also into community development. Anything that has to do with community development, I can also help with the project planning, the evaluation, and also looking at the implementation phase.
Okay, so then it's an all-in-one system, and I do like it's like you said,
Mm-hmm.
knowledge is power. And most people,
Mm-hmm.
when they don't know, they get scared. And like you said, growing up in our generation, in our culture, we hear one word, two word, we get all scared because we don't know what's happening. We don't know,
Mm-hmm.
what we see on TV, and we don't get the knowledge. So I'm glad that you're going in and saying, okay, hold on, slow down. This is what it is. This is
Mm-hmm.
what it's not. This is what
Mm-hmm.
can happen. Let me help
Mm-hmm.
you to understand. And that's what we
Yes.
need. And that's what
Yes.
we do need is the understanding. Because I do believe if more people would understand each other,
Mm-hmm.
we can go much further. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
And having also conversations. I think sometimes the stigma comes from fear of the
yes.
unknown, and
Yep.
also not having that unfortunately HIV also comes with sex, and sex is taboo in our community. We don't want to talk about sex, but we have to talk about sex because we're doing it and we love it. Why can't
Uh,
we talk about it? so so, so that I like talking about sex, and I'm not shy to say that. And
well,
I know something.
that's the part you said. We don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it, but we're doing it and we're loving
Mhm.
it, but we don't talk
Mhm.
about it. And
No.
we're not teaching it to the next generation about how to do it properly, how to do it safe, what to
Yes.
do. Yeah, I know. It's
Mhm.
funny when you say it. It's like they don't want to talk about it. You ask and the thing is, when we were kids, we used to ask questions,
Mhm.
and then we get don't talk about those things. That's
Yes.
stuff. That's stuff for when you get older. We don't want to know about
Mhm.
those things now.
Yeah, especially now that we are in the diaspora. If you're For us who grew up in Africa, and not for everyone, but for some of us, when we come here, there's certain things that we start seeing that we didn't know. We start
Yeah,
learning. We see that there's sex toys. We see that there's all those other things, and then we want to explore. Or sometimes some, especially with youngsters, they end up engaging in risky sex because or risky behaviors that expose them to other diseases, not only HIV, because there's no discussions of talking about
mm,
how do you protect yourself, how do you have
right,
that conversation when you meet someone to find out what's the responsibility of your health is not in another person's hands, it has to
right.
be in your own hands. So just having those community conversations is what drives me live. I love having engagements and talking about it, but in a respectful way too, depending with the age groups that I'm dealing with.
Yeah, you have to make the people feel comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. All right. But before we go, we have a lot of comments coming in. We're just going to say hi to everybody. There you go. There you go. Hi, Andrea. How
Hello.
you doing?
Hello,
Thanks for
everyone.
watching.
Thank you so much for checking in and listening. And I look forward to hear from you and to learn from you too, because this is it's all about learning. Business is all about learning from others who've done
There,
it before, and
yep.
I might bring a skill that someone else will benefit from. And that's why I like IWB, because I meet a lot of people from different professions. I learn from others how to do taxes for my business. I learn from others how to deliver cultural appropriate services. I learned also about how to eat well and how to live well. So it's a group that, and Sweet Lana has been on my case from the time that I met her. And there's times when I used to say, where is this woman coming from? Why is she driving me crazy? Why is she on my case? But I like that she actually realized my potential. So the potential can be realized by other people outside of you. So it's important to get in a group, because then there's something that you think you don't have, that people might see that you have, and they'll keep on encouraging you. Hi, Jenny.
Yeah, and that's what it is, a community.
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of interviewing so many of the ladies from IWB, and it is a community, it's a family. So that is the great part about it. It is in learning. I've learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, doing these interviews with yourself, and having the courage, like you said, to step out. Don't put a lid on your conversations. Having the power to say no and to do what you got to do. So every day when I do an interview, I learn. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, so here we go. Before we go, we're going to have a quick game. Okay? Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't worry. Here we go.
Okay.
Now time for victory!
It's real simple. You pick
8.
three. You pick 3 numbers between 1 and 10, and I ask you those questions. Go ahead. Give me 3 numbers between 1 and 10.
So 3,
3,
5, and
3.
8.
3, 5, and 8. All right, here we go. Quick answers. What advice would you give someone trying to pursue a career like yourself?
Not be scared to try what's up there and to try the resources that other people have shared with you, but also to ask for hands-on support, because sometimes reading is not good, it's not enough. So if there's someone who's willing to walk you through a process, go for it. That's the only way you can learn.
Perfect. Number 5. What have you read or listened to recently that inspired you?
I'm only reading academic books.
All right. Which academic book have you read? There you go. Give us that one. Which academic book did you read?
So right now I'm reading about feminism and the phases of feminism. So just trying to look at what has other women done before, and what has worked, what has not worked, what brings us together as women, and what divides us, so that I'll be able to also contribute. For the title, I'll send you. Because it's within chapters.
All right. The last one before we go is, where can we find you? Besides your website, where else can we find you? On LinkedIn, Twitter, where can we find you?
LinkedIn and Facebook. On Facebook, Marvelous Yokai. Yokai is my second name. It just means remember. And on LinkedIn, if you just type LinkedIn, even in Google, if you type in LinkedIn, my name and second name, it will take you to my page. And that's my phone number.
Perfect. 647-273-0510. 273-0510. It's been a pleasure to have you on my show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not
so
a problem.
Much.
And thank you to everybody for watching. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys, because without you guys, the community would not have been coming together. So thank you so much for everybody. Now listen.
Thank you.
The one thing I'm going to take away today is nobody can tell me no. Okay? No one's going to tell me I can't do it. Listen, you heard what she said. The more you tell her no, the more we're going to survive, and the more we're going to prove that we can do it. Like we said,
yes,
put that big toe in the water and see what happens. You have greatness in you. Let's strive to make it great. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional legal